What's up guys, YuGiOh here, and it's time for the third installment, long awaited by some, third installment of my How to Collect series. If you haven't gone and seen the first two videos in this series, make sure you go check those out. I show you how to use TCG Player, as well as how to know where the best places are to search for Yu-Gi-Oh cards. But then after that, you have to know how to distinguish between different printings of Yu-Gi-Oh cards online or in person. I say online because that's the way I buy most of my cards. Kind of the first point of this is that the best place to buy cards is in person, okay? But there are not usually many lots near where you live, unless you live in a big city. I live in a rural area, so there's usually not many lots of cards where I live, but there's always more variety and better deals somewhere else because the world's a big place. So the odds are you're going to have to ship cards in. So first, you have to establish your buying thresholds. So I only buy at 33% market value of cards. I don't hold anything against anybody who will not sell to me at that price. No problem. I'm all for anybody getting the maxed amount out of their cards as they can. That's just my personal buying thresholds that I have to hold to when cards are being shipped, because they could come in less condition and I have to resell to make my money back, as well as keep some. So, and I never lie to people about the value of their cards. You never want to do that. Just be a stand-up person when you're making deals, especially if you have a lower buying threshold. More deals will always come up, so don't ever get desperate about something. So I always use the TCG Player app to input cards to see their value. Most of the time I have to use my computer to look up which set they're from. Well, when I started out, now not so much, but I still use computer to look up what set they're from. Whenever I'm confused about which set a card actually comes from. So there are quite a few tactics that I use to identify cards through pictures online, and many of them always overlap to triangulate exactly which card I'm looking at. So the first thing to note is that code is king. You always want to look at the code here, and that will always tell you the value of the card, and that is shown in my first video in this series. But if you can't see the code from pictures, which lots of time you can't do, there are ways to figure out which printing of the card it is. So you may recognize it as a Blue Eyes White Dragon, but there are about 5 billion different printings of Blue Eyes White Dragon. So how do you know which one it is? And additionally, sometimes people aren't going to send you close-up pictures of the codes of every single card. That's way too laborious, and like seriously, who wants to do that? So you want to be able to identify the cards without having crystal clear pictures. So here is a list that I made of all the different ways I could think of to identify cards without exactly having their code. The name or the partial name, that one's very important. You almost always have to be able to read the name or the text in the text box. Sometimes you can look up the text and it'll pull up the Yu-Gi-Oh card, but most of the time you do have to have the name, but that's not usually a problem. And then after that, there's the artwork. So for instance, there's different printings of Blue Eyes White Dragon, and I'll go through and give examples and show you me searching to show you how these all work together. First edition versus limited edition, where the first edition or limited edition stamp is placed, as well as I said before, the text in the text box, and other factors such as if it's a magic or a spell card. If it's a magic card, then you know it's an older printing of the card. If it's a spell card, you know it's newer. And there are many other ways. Well, not many, but I'm sure there are other ways that I'm missing out on. But to orchestrate my point, let's go ahead and go over to Facebook Marketplace. I'm on my alt account. So I have it set to Savannah, Georgia, within 500 miles. And then I just search for Yu-Gi-Oh cards. And date listed last week, because I haven't searched in a bit. Normally I search every single day. And so I look for things that are in my budget. So for example, over here, this is not going to be in my budget, so I'm not even going to look at it. It doesn't matter. This one. So as you can see here, there are quite a few Yu-Gi-Oh cards, but there's only one picture. So what do? Just leave? No. What you do is you come over here, and first this is far enough away to where they would have to ship it to me. So I say, can you ship? If so, can you send more pictures of the holographic cards? And I asked that because most of the time they're not going to want to send pics of every single card, And the valuable ones, nearly about 99% of the time, are in fact going to be holographic. And then I just close that out and forget about it, because if they get back to me, they get back to me. If they don't, they don't. So, oh well, right? And here we have these. So here we can see some of the cards, right? Obviously that's YuGiOh. I'm not sure what these other ones are. Let's see if there's closer pictures. All right. So we have this one. I'm not sure what it is. Oh, we better read the description. Selling my vintage YuGiOh collection when I was a kid, price firm. That's good, when he was a kid. Don't have the time to go through and sell individually. There's plenty of profit, supposedly. Okay, so this, take for instance this YuGiOh. We can see it's a YuGiOh, we can see the name. We cannot see the code. However, we can see that this is a secret rare. So, if we head over, oops, where's TCG Player? Here it is. Okay, if we head over to TCG Player and we search YuGiOh, if you don't know how to use TCG Player, go watch my first video. I explain it there. So I click on the name here, and then I can go and sort by secret rare. There's 4 secret rare printings of YuGiOh, as you can see here. So there are only so many it could be. He said it's from when he was a kid, so it's probably not this one, 25th anniversary. So it could either be this one or this one. And both of those are about within the same price range. It's probably not this one. If it is, that would be rare, but it's probably not that one. So it could either be this one or this one. So it's somewhere between $30 and $40 if it was in near mint condition. Now remember, I got there by triangulating the different things I saw on this card. So it is a secret rare, so I knew to put that filter in. It doesn't have a first edition stamp, unfortunately, but that's how we figure out what that card is. So let's go look at some other things. So let's take, for example, let's look through these a little bit more, find a better one. Okay, let's take this Dark Magician. So how do we know which Dark Magician this is? Well, we can use multiple factors. I already know which one this one is because I've searched for a while. But if you look, it is an ultra rare. So this name is holographic. If it were just black, then it wouldn't be it would be easier to see. Like, I'm pretty sure this is just black. But you can tell this is holographic. And the foil is holographic. And you can look at the artwork as well as the first edition stamp placed in the bottom left corner. So we just have to find cards that fit this exact description. So, whoops, wrong way. If we go over to TCG Player and we search Dark Magician, and then first we search by ultra rare. So after that, I'm going to look for the specific artwork of this card, this artwork. So let's see. Seems to be not here, which I knew that because I know which card this is. But if you notice, it's not here. So sometimes you do have to do some more searching. I happen to know which card this is. It is Dark Magician. I believe it's B. Let's see. Is that the artwork? It is. So yes, I knew which card it was. Has to be Dark Magician B from Yugi's Legendary decks. This is ultra rare. It has the same artwork, as you'll see there. And it has the first edition stamp in the bottom left corner. So that's all markers match first edition. And if you notice, none of the other ultra rares had this artwork. So it has to be this card. And it is first edition. So I'll put this card at $6.60. Now, it seems like someone messaged me back on here. So let's go see what they said real quick. I'm curious. Sent a video. Okay, so see all these pictures. So this person has sent me pictures. We have Lekunga from see this one, you can see the code. It's IOC, Invasion of Chaos. And then there's Skill Drain. Let's see, I'm not really seeing anything big here. We have Horus, but that's just the rare. Yeah, I'm seeing a bunch of rares here. So I'm probably not going to investigate this one further. They sent me a video. Oh man, they're obviously not taking care of the cards very well. So this is one that I'm probably not going to take very further. So let's just give them a thumbs up. Get out of here. This one, maybe I would have to look up more cards. But let's take again this Heavy Storm. So I can't really see the code down there. I can see the first edition, and I can see that it is, in fact, an ultra rare. So, and I just noticed that some people might not be able to read the name of this card right there, but you can read down here. It says destroy all spell and trap cards on the field. So if I go over here and I search YuGiOh destroy all spell and trap cards on the field, go to images, then we'll come over to here. This says your opponent controls, so that can't be it. Let's see. Heavy Storm, destroy all spell and trap cards on the field. So, and has the same artwork. So there you can see how I got the card from the text box. But anyway, I also had to find out which version of Heavy Storm it is. So I can come over here and search up Heavy Storm. Click on that. And if remember, it was an ultra rare. So if I come down here and filter by ultra rare. And so I have different things here. So it could be this one. I'll look on that. But this one is only limited and unlimited. And if you'll notice, our Heavy Storm over here has a first edition stamp right here. So it cannot be this Hobby League one. So we'll go back. And so it's either Legendary Collection Joey's World or Legendary Collection Yugi's World. So it has the first edition. So TCG Player doesn't show the first edition price just from the start. So it's somewhere around $437 if it was Yugi's World, and $427 if it was Joey's World. So it's about the same price, depending on which of these sets it's from. So it's hard to tell which exact set it's from, but it's about the same price. So in terms of calculating what you want to buy, it's a non-plus. So this is something black belt, AMY black belt. So I'm not sure which card that is. So I will search Y black belt YuGiOh spell card. I've actually never seen that card before. If I go to images, I see it is the Legendary Black Belt. So if I go back over to my TCG Player here, then I search up Legendary Black Belt. So, and if we look at it, it has a gold name. But if you look over here, these are both only rares, which means that this is probably an ultimate rare. And ultimate rares don't just pop up here on TCG Player, you have to click on them. If I look up Legendary Black Belt, right here, there's the listing for ultimate rare. So I click on that, and let's see if it's first edition. It is not first edition. So that will put it at about $2.12. So from what I'm seeing so far, I don't think this collection would be good enough. Well, he actually has a TCG player list, so I should have looked at that first. But yeah, I didn't see that, but it was a good lesson. So let's go look at, let's try and look at one more collection before I end this video. And you can always go and look back at the start of the video for the different factors you can use to try and figure out what YuGiOh cards are, which YuGiOh cards are in the collection. Let's see, look at this one. just from my experience, I can tell that this is SDK, 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 SDJ, magic ruler, but you may not know that, and I didn't know that for sure when I was starting out. So when I zoom in, I see that this is an ultra rare with this artwork, not first edition. But if I go over here and search Blue Eyes White Dragon, and I go and filter by ultra rare, 17 different printings, right? However, it can only be this one, this one, this one. So it can only be one of those three because of the different artwork here. So if you'll notice on this one has the limited edition stamp at the bottom here. And if we go look at these, none of those had the limited edition stamp. So it could not possibly be this one. So then it either has to be this one or this one. Let's check this one out. This one only comes in first edition, and the first edition stamp is in the bottom left. If you notice, once again, none of these have that first edition stamp in the bottom left. Therefore, it can only be this card. So that is pretty decent value if these cards were in fact in near mint condition. So because they only want 65, but if these are all worth 45, then that would actually be a pretty good deal. However, these are probably not in near mint condition, and so I'm not sure if that actually be a good deal. But then let's take another look at this Red Eyes B Dragon. Let's go figure this one out. And I'll do this one, and then that'll kind of be it for this video of learning how to identify Yu-Gi-Oh cards. So we'll search Red Eyes B Dragon. And if we look back here, it is in fact an ultra rare. If it were a secret rare, it would pretty obviously be this rainbow foiling here plus the lines, but you can tell that this is not a rare, so it must be an ultra rare. So we go down here and filter by ultra rare, and then it has to have this artwork, so we can discount any ones that don't have that artwork. So it could be this one, it could be this one, or it could be this one. Wow, I didn't know that this card existed, actually. I might have skipped over that sometime in the past. But anyway, so if we go over here and look at this card, if you'll notice, this code is not very long. It looks the same as this one. This one was SDK001, right? And this looks about the same length. So unfortunately, odds are is that it is not the retro pack, because you can tell by the length of the code. So it's not this one. The code would have to be much longer. So that leaves us either LOB or SDJ. So how do I tell which one it is? Well, honestly, you can't really tell. However, you can also tell by the color of the card. So if you look at this side by side, does this color of the card, does this color of card look more like the LOB right there, or does it look like, let me get that back. Does it look like the SDJ? It looks more like the SDJ, plus the SDJ is far more common than the LOB, so more than likely it is the SDJ. So I actually will message, so it doesn't look like his cards are in the best condition, just from these pictures, and I don't imagine they are. But I will message him anyway. And this Serpent Night Dragon is a secret rare. So we can go over and look for, that's the last one here, Serpent Night Dragon. I always spell it wrong. Night Dragon. And then we search by secret rare. So it's not the 25th anniversary because it doesn't have that new card look. So it's either from Spell Ruler or Magic Ruler. Both about the same price. So we know which card that is. So that's the basics of how to use different factors to identify Yu-Gi-Oh cards online. And then what I would say to this person is, can you ship? If so, can you send closer pics to gauge condition on the holographic ones? And then I send that. And then I'll go from there. Because if these are all near mint condition, obviously I would buy this right away. Because it's 45, 90, 135, 145, about 150. Just off of those. Plus whatever else is here. He probably has more sitting around somewhere. And so, this would be a pretty good deal if it were near mint. You know, I buy it 33%, and that's almost 33%, 65 and 150. So that would be a good deal for me to buy, especially since I already have these. So I could just sell them immediately and make a really quick profit. So, and you can all negotiate people down most of the time, so I could probably get him down to $50. But anyway, that's the basics. You just want to use the name, the artwork, the rarity, you know, first edition, limited edition, the text in the text box, and any other factors that you can to identify Yu-Gi-Oh cards. And then you put them into the TCG Player app, and based on your buying standards, you decide what you can and what you can't buy. And then my next video will probably be a video in this series about how to safely get people to ship online. So thank you guys for watching this video. Please subscribe if you enjoyed, and make sure you go back, watch the other 2 videos as well, and check out all of my videos. Once again, I appreciate all you guys. Subscribe. We're close to our next subscriber goal, which is 225 subscribers, which I'll be doing a dog reveal of my very cute dog. And then after that will be a vote by you guys on what the next subscriber milestone, subscriber special video will be. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.